What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are back on NHL 21 and we'll be simming the career of Tim Stutzle of the Ottawa Senators. Stutzle was taken 3rd overall just about a month ago in the 2020 NHL Entry draft and is expected to be one of the key pieces of Ottawa's future. This 18-year-old from Germany absolutely tore it up in the 2018-19 season, scoring 55 points in 21 games in the German Development League, and this was good enough to have him play the following season in the DEL. The DEL is a professional German hockey league, and in that league as a teenager against some of Germany's best talent, he put up 7 goals and 27 assists for 34 points in 41 games. He also did represent Germany last year at the World Juniors and was a point per game with 5 assists in 5 games. Clearly the future is bright in Ottawa, and hopefully we do see him help this team get back to the playoffs relatively soon. As always, in this video we will be simulating year by year and checking in on his stats as well as if he wins any awards. We will be controlling a different team, but having the CPU control everything, so the simulation is completely computer automated. Also, before we get into it, I apologize if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I've heard Stutzle, Stutzle, Stutzle. I'm just gonna go with Stutzle because that's kind of what I've heard the most. If you're watching this, Tim, I'm sorry. Anyway, as we head into the 2020-2021 season, the Ottawa Senators decide to keep Stutzle in Germany to develop his game a little bit more, so we're just gonna simulate the first year and see if he makes the roster the next season. So here we are now at the beginning of the 2021-2022 NHL season. In the year we simulated, the Sens missed the playoffs, the Carolina Hurricanes took home the Stanley Cup, and the Calder went to Alexis Lafreniere. Tim Stutzle is finally in North America, but is still not looked at as NHL ready for the Sens, as he will be starting his season in the AHL with the Belleville Senators. As of right now, Stutzle has developed into a 77 overall with medium elite potential, and currently is listed as a depth forward. Right now his stats are very solid, including 90 slap shot power, 89 wrist shot power, and 86 deking. Hopefully next year we finally see him up with Ottawa. So the 2021-2022 NHL season sadly doesn't see any of Tim Stutzle, but there is some good news as the Ottawa Senators find their way back to the playoffs. They do lose to Detroit in the first round though, but I don't see it as a bad thing at all because we can now see Tim Stutzle join a team that is already a potential playoff contender. At the beginning of the next season, we do finally see Stutzle make the Sens lineup as he cracks the roster as the 4th line right winger, playing on a line with Chris Tierney and Alex Formenton. Stutzle growed a bit more in the offseason and is now at an 81 overall, still with medium elite potential, and his stats have gotten even better. His offensive awareness has jumped up to an 88, as well as his deking, and his passing and puck control are now up to an 87. Now with all this being said, let's see if Stutzle can help Ottawa continue towards the Stanley Cup and possibly take home the Calder Trophy. The Ottawa Senators in year number 1 have a massive regular season, finishing 4th in the league and winning the Atlantic Division. The playoffs again do not see them out of the first round though, as they are taken out in 5 games by the New Jersey Devils. Stutzle's rookie campaign saw him miss 20 games due to injury, and in the 62 games he did play in, he scored 9 goals and 12 assists for 21 points. That is all we got to see from Stutzle as he missed the playoffs due to injury, and with all this, he remains at 81 overall. The Sens have a similar regular season as the year before, as they finish 1 place lower at 5th and again make the playoffs. The playoffs weren't too similar though, as the Senators took out the Habs in the first round, but sadly fell to the Hurricanes in the second round in 5 games. Tim Stutzle's sophomore season was a better year as he stayed healthy for the most part and put up 23 goals and 34 assists for 57 points. In the playoffs, he struggled a bit, putting up 2 points in 9 games and being a -5. Stutzle jumps up to an 84 overall though, as he heads into the final year of his entry-level deal. Ottawa again with an amazing regular season, this one seeing them finish 2nd in the NHL, but once again they struggle in the playoffs as they fall in 7 games to the Buffalo Sabres. Stutzle in the last year of his rookie deal had a very solid season, scoring 22 goals and 54 assists for 76 points in the regular season. In the 7-game playoff run, Stutzle led the team with 8 points and increased up to an 87 overall. In the offseason, he signed a massive 5-year deal with the Sens worth $10.1 million per year. For the 2nd year in a row, the Ottawa Senators finished 2nd in the NHL and continue to be a dominant regular season team. The playoffs see them take out the Habs in the first round, but fall to the Bruins in the second round in 5. Stutzle once again with his best regular season yet, as he scored 27 goals and 55 assists for 82 points in 82 games. Stutzle was also solid in the playoffs with 4 goals and 4 assists for 8 points and increases up to an 88 overall. After all these huge regular seasons, including 2 back-to-back second place finishes in the league, the Ottawa Senators in year number 5 of this simulation fell off of a cliff and finished 29th in the league. Despite this team's awful year, Stutzle had a huge regular season as he put up 30 goals and 63 assists for 93 points, and with this he jumps up to a 90 overall. Ottawa manages to get worse as they again missed the playoffs and this time finished second to last in the league. As bad as Ottawa was, at least they're not the Philadelphia Flyers as they finished last with just 39 points on the season. Stutzle's production dropped off, but still it was a solid year for him as he scored 28 goals and 49 assists for 77 points. He does drop an overall though and is back down to an 89. The Senators still suck, but they're slowly climbing out of the basement of the league after finishing 25th in the NHL. Stutzle had one of his worst seasons in years after scoring 25 goals and 34 assists for 59 points, but once again, it's not the end of the world as the Sens still are a pretty shit team. With all this, Stutzle does drop to an 88 overall as he heads into the final year of his current deal. For the fourth straight season, the Senators missed the playoffs, this time after a 23rd place finish. Tim Stutzle in the last year of his current deal had a huge bounce back season as he put up 32 goals and 63 assists for 95 points. He jumps up to a 91 overall and re-signs with the Sens on a 7-year deal worth $9.4 million per year. The Ottawa Senators are finally back to being a solid team in year number 9 as they have a great regular season and finish 6th in the entire NHL. Playoffs still don't see them go far as they fall in the second round to the Sabres in 6 games. Stutzle again with a huge regular season, scoring 34 goals and 58 assists for 92 points, and in the playoffs led the way for Ottawa with 19 points, and with all this, he remains at 91 overall. Ottawa absolutely dominates in year number 10 and wins the President's Trophy as the league's best team. The playoffs were pretty great as well as they finally went on a deep run that sadly saw them lose all the way in the Stanley Cup Finals to the Minnesota Wild. Ottawa's top line was almost unstoppable this year as all 3 players had over 100-point seasons each. Stutzle potted 45 goals and 57 assists for 102 points, and in the playoffs he was almost a point per game with 20 points in 21 games. Stutzle remains at 91 overall, and Brady Tkachuk ended up taking home the Hart and Ted Lindsay Award. So 10 years into his career now, Tim Stutzle has played 781 NHL games, scored 275 goals and 479 assists for 754 career points so far. He's yet to win any awards, and although Ottawa has been up and down, they seem to be trending in the right direction, and hopefully we see a cup in his future soon. Year 11 has Ottawa finishing 3rd in the league with a big 52-win season and obviously back in the playoffs. They weren't able to string together a run like last year sadly and fell to the Maple Leafs in the first round in 7 games. Stutzle still had himself a great regular season once again. This season saw him put up 33 goals and 54 assists for 87 points, and in the playoffs had 10 points in 7 games. Despite all this, Stutzle does drop to a 90 overall. For the 4th straight year, the Ottawa Senators make the playoffs, this time after finishing 10th in the league. They faced the Red Wings in the first round and again got taken out in the first round as they fell in 6 games. Tim Stutzle had himself a decent season, scoring 30 goals and 53 assists for 83 points in the regular season, and in the playoffs he added a goal and 4 assists for 5 points and drops to an 89 overall. Once again, Ottawa claims another President's Trophy, but again struggles to go deep in the playoffs as they are knocked out in the second round by the Boston Bruins in 6 games. Tim Stutzle had himself a great regular season, scoring 36 goals and 58 assists for 94 points in the regular season, which ended up being enough to take home the Art Ross Trophy. In the playoffs, he led the Senators in points with 13 and increases back up to a 91 overall. The aging Ottawa Senators finished their season 11th in the NHL and once again make the Stanley Cup playoffs where they didn't last long like almost always as the Hurricanes took them out in just 6 games. Tim Stutzle dropped off a bit in production this year as he scored 17 goals and 56 assists for 73 points and in the playoffs was very present as he had 9 points in 6 games. Stutzle drops back down to an 88 overall heading into the final year of his current deal. Just like that, the Senators are once again out of the playoffs as they finish 16th in the NHL. Tim Stutzle is still on the decline, and at 35 years old, he put up 53 points after scoring 20 goals and 33 assists. He drops to an 87 overall, and in the offseason signs with the Arizona Coyotes on a 1-year, $6 million deal. With the Coyotes, Tim Stutzle helps them finish 12th in the league and make the playoffs. Like Stutzle is used to, it didn't last long as they fell in 5 games to the Calgary Flames in the first round. Tim Stutzle had a bounce-back season though with the Coyotes, putting up 76 points in 76 games, and in the playoffs had a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Stutzle remains at 87 overall, and despite being a pretty high overall, he does decide to call it a career and retire. So in 1,262 NHL games, Tim Stutzle put up 429 goals and 791 assists for 1,220 career points. He was a one-time Art Ross trophy, and sadly that was the only piece of hardware he was able to capture in his career. Overall, he was an elite player, always putting up pretty good seasons, but it just looks like the Senators could never get it done come playoff time. So there you guys have it, Tim Stutzle's career simulated here on NHL 21. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know who you guys would like to see next, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace.